Welcome to It All Boils Down to This, the podcast where father and son take the kitchen table arguments and heated discussions from their home directly to yours. Jim and Jack Boyle will explore the world as only they can. We might even let a few guests join the fun. So sit back, choose a side, watch the water temperature rise, and enjoy stimulating generational conversation about sports and life. Welcome to episode 60 of It All Boils Down to This. We're ready for probably the biggest football weekend of the year, as there are going to be 5 great games, counting the Monday night game with the college football playoff. Jack, I want to start off with the NFL, and I know this is probably the best week of football we're going to see. What are your impressions of the divisional round of NFL?
I haven't watched the NFL this year and all, but like I said, I've traveled it for weeks and weeks and weeks. I've consistently said the best thing that we have in sports is the NFL divisional round on. So the divisional round, I'm not going to watch like Red Zone where 10 games are going on at once. I want to get good. We're get this weekend 4 real good games. The next weekend, 2 real good games. Then the Super Bowl, great game. So I'm ready to go. I'm excited for this weekend. I'm ready for football. That Ravens-Bills game, Chiefs going to roll, everything. I'm just excited.
That's good
for once for the NFL.
The weather.
And you know what? That's the thing. Wait, that's the thing about like the NFL. They only need there's only enough talent for like 8 teams. So let's make like an 8-team league, and then it'll be great. I'll watch every week.
Yeah, we're not going to get 8 teams. Got too much money involved in the 8-team league, though, Jack.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
So let's go through AFC first. I know that we've been big Kansas City fans all year, even though they struggle a bit. It looks like they're fully healthy as well. What do you Chiefs Houston? That's the game. I think that's the night game on Saturday night. Not sure, but what do you think? What's the take on that?
I just think they're going to control the game. They'll have a lead going in the second half. They'll have a couple of those super long drives. I don't think Houston's looked super dynamic on offense, and that's what you're going to have to be to beat the Chiefs right now. So, look, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I see no way that the Chiefs lose that game. That we're here next week and the Chiefs aren't still in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that Houston had their big turnover fest last week, and that probably against the Chargers. And I don't see them replicating that against Kansas City against Mahomes as well. You know what I think? My prediction for this one's really simple.
I have a question. Has Mahomes ever turned the ball over more than once in a playoff game? Like in a single play? Probably not, right?
Though.
He's 5-0 in the divisional round. You know that?
Yes. He's only lost 3 playoff games.
Yeah, right? Brady, and Burrow.
Yeah, that's it. Just 3 times, and Brady beat him twice. So, well,
D Ford, but
we'll
give that one to Brady.
Oh, that's different.
I said D Ford did beat him once, but whatever.
That's true. So what I think is going to happen, I think Kansas City wins. I think they're getting healthy. Everybody's starting to come back. My prediction is they score more than 30 points. They go to 31 or more, just to show people they're actually ready to go. The biggest issue for them...
That'd be funny if they scored 31.
It would be funny. The biggest issue for them going forward is the next round. So let's go on to the next game, which is really probably should be the best game, but will probably end up being the worst game. We don't know how the weather's going to be. Where we have the 1 and 1A MVP candidates with Jackson and Allen going against each other in Buffalo. I still am a Buffalo fan. I'm still going to root Buffalo there, but the way that Ravens have played over the last 5 or 6 weeks really is tough. So, first of all, who do you see as the MVP? And maybe it's neither of them. Maybe it's Saquon Barkley. But who do you see as the MVP of the NFL? And then how do you see this game playing out?
So I think the MVP is so close right now. Either way, I hate doing this, but fatigue of vote, I'd give it to Josh Allen. And I know that's kind of stupid, but that's almost I think it's that close that's how I vote. Now, I would honestly, if this were allowed, I would give it to whoever plays in this football game. That's how close I think the MVP is. So if I could use the playoffs in this matchup that they have,
right.
That's who I give it to. Now, I've always consistently said I would rather have Josh Allen as my quarterback than Lamar Jackson. I'm going to say there's a lot on this game for Josh Allen. If he does not win this game in the cold at home, I will say Lamar Jackson's a better quarterback than him. I will.
I give
going forward, whoever wins this game is a better quarterback to me.
It's a big legacy game for everyone here, though. Think about it. Harbaugh did win the Super Bowl when he beat his brother.
Harbaugh's legacy is set.
Not Harbaugh, but
Harbaugh's legacy is not going to change much.
The Ravens of the Lamar Jackson era Ravens are definitely, it's a legacy game. The Josh Allen, it's a legacy game.
It's Lamar and Josh Allen.
I think for McDermott, it's even bigger because It's funny though.
Well, it solidifies him because he's still kind of, people are like, is he a good coach?
Right.
Is he a supporter of Al Qaeda? Should he be fired? All that. But people don't know yet. So him winning the Super Bowl would solidify. It's like, oh,
I
yeah,
think
he's a good coach.
I don't know. I would say that
Stop
you're
getting
right.
people to talk about Bill Belichick taking his job.
So Josh Allen, biggest legacy game. And then McDermott, I think, is second. And even actually Jackson and Josh Allen, whoever wins this game, I know that the MVP is not to stay, but Jackson's not won a big game yet either. And we can bust on Allen, but
Okay,
Lamar
sure.
Jackson has won a big game.
I'm just saying that's the thing, though, legacy game and all. It's like whoever loses this game, their legacy would probably take a hit in the short term. But there still is no like legacy. So there's nothing, you can't solidify your legacy if you're one of those. They're MVP level quarterbacks. You need to win the Super Bowl. You have to beat the Chiefs. The legacy team is the next round beating the Chiefs.
Right. And the irony is this is only a divisional round. This doesn't even get you the Super Bowl. This probably gets you a date in Kansas City against Mahomes and the Chiefs. And both these guys have not beaten him yet, ever. Well, Josh Allen beat him in the regular season, but
Josh Allen beat him in the. Josh Allen should have beat him in the playoffs too. But yeah, that's for another day.
It's a whole other story. So who do you like then? Who's going to play?
I said there's just Buffalo, the home teams. I'm gonna go. Okay. I'm gonna go chalk home all the way. Except I think the Eagles are gonna end up making the Super Bowl. I think it's gonna be Kansas City Eagles.
Okay, so you're gonna go chalk all the way then. Okay, so AFC.
Well, no, because the Lions have home field advantage, right? So it wouldn't be chalk all the way. It'd be chalk.
Right. So we
chalk in the AFC and then out there.
So there's no disagreement. Kansas City and Buffalo, we think, will advance to the AFC Championship, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and we do agree that it's a big legacy game for both Allen and Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
And it's probably it should be the best game of the weekend, and it's the last game on Sunday. I think it's scheduled for that, but who knows? And like I said, I think the other thing that will be a factor here is weather. So I know like we're going to get to Philadelphia in a minute. It's supposed to snow in Philly on Sunday, like it's supposed to snow here. So that might mean it's snowing in Buffalo as well. So Kansas City and Houston plays in the Dome. Kansas City, Baltimore, Buffalo, all cold weather teams. That shouldn't impact anybody. So that transfers us to the next conference, which is the National Football Conference. Washington and Detroit. Is that that's Washington plays Detroit? Yeah.
Yeah, Detroit's going to win that game. Yeah, and then I think the Eagles are going to beat the Rams. So that's just what I got to say.
That's it. So
yeah, I don't know.
You think that Jalen Hurts can beat Stafford's team?
Yeah. I mean, they're a better team. I just think.
Well, they're a better team, but again, it comes down to the weather. If it snows there, the Rams have no shot. Like the Rams, the Lions both play in technically indoor stadiums, and the Rams are playing coming from the fires. And Detroit and the Eagles and Washington are these East Coast teams that are ready for it. I would not be shocked. And I think the Lions make the Super Bowl the first time, but I would not be shocked if Washington upsets the Lions tomorrow.
I'd be stunned.
I would not be shocked by it.
I'd be stunned.
The Lions defense is dying. Both teams have won a lot of close games, just like the Chiefs. But we still have the rookie quarterback versus Jared Goff. So I'm going to pick the Lions to win, but like you said, with chalk because of home field advantage. But this is the one game where I think this is the one game I think you could see the upset is the Commanders, Washington football team. I think is the one area where I think you could see some type of an upset at some point this weekend. And I think the Eagles win. They're at home. Come across country.
I think the Rams have a better shot of beating the Eagles.
Not in the snow, they don't.
Than the Redskins. The Redskins. Yeah, but what do I care? Look who's getting inaugurated on Monday. I'm saying the Redskins. The Redskins. Instead of they might win.
I say the weather is so.
I said they stunk all year. The quarterbacks bailed them out a few times. I just don't like that team that much. I don't know.
But again, if there's an upset, I wouldn't be shocked if Jaden Daniels brings it back because I think the Rams coming across country to play in the cold in Philadelphia isn't going to do them any favors. And then I think if the Eagles and the Lions match up, the Eagles going to the Dome doesn't do them any favors either. The Eagles, I don't know. I'm not sold. I remember we made the Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow bet, and I'm not sold on Jalen Hurts as an quality NFL quarterback.
Okay, so can we officially end that bet then?
No, because Jalen Hurts might win a Super Bowl before Joe Burrow does.
Whatever. All right. Everyone knew that bet's over. Everyone knew that bet was over already. It wasn't even a comparison.
And then we have their coach.
Again, this is another example of you refusing to admit you got that wrong. You were right. You know what? You were right. Eduardo Rodriguez was better than Henry Owens. Good for you. You were right.
That was a good one.
I was wrong about that.
I'm usually right.
You're so wrong about that. That's not even funny. Okay. And Jalen Hurts turned out to be 10 times better quarterback than I thought.
I will say this. I will say this. Let me end my saying. I think you're right. I think in the overall world, Joe Burrow is up here and Jalen Hurts is down here.
It's not even close.
It's not as far as you think it is, though.
No, I think it's a lot farther than you think.
Both guys have taken teams to Super Bowls and lost, right? And Jalen Hurts, I think, in the end, you're going to be right, because that was a long shot bet for me anyway.
No, you were pissed off because LSU was beating Oklahoma by 70 in the first half.
Oh God!
Jalen Hurts will be better than this bomb. That's what it was. It was just. It was never. There was no logic behind it. It was just you were angry at.
Hey, I took a chance.
And Coach O and that.
Hey, LSU team. I will say this. Your sister will be happy that I will say right now, Joe Burrow's probably top 5 quarterback in the league anyway, right? At least the 3 guys.
It's been that way for like 4 years now, and I've said that for 4 years, and you just
if he learns,
yes, he made the Super Bowl 3 years ago.
That's true, but then they sucked for 2 years.
They really didn't suck though. He's like he's in the MVP conversation. They didn't make the playoffs.
Well, listen, Amanda, if you're out there listening, and I'm sure you're not, Jack probably wins that one bet. I'll give him that credit. I'll give him that.
I get ripped on. You never made me wrong either. You never say anything nice about the Bengals. What are you talking about?
I didn't say that. Mom said that.
I know. That's what I said. I say things nice about the Bengals all the time. I'm the one who actually respects the Bengals. I don't like them. Funny? I don't like Joe Burrow, but I think he's good.
If people are listening out there, this far into the show, this is like, you should talk to my wife, or Jack's mom, Kelly, and my wife. She is so fed up with you and I, and we just we're very stubborn human beings, both of us, and we stick to our guns a lot. So that's good. No, that's why we do the show. It's a great way to do it. But the Joe Burrow thing, you know what? I will admit right now on air that I was wrong about Jalen Hurts being better than Joe Burrow. But I will change my mind if the Eagles win the Super Bowl. I can still change my mind. What if he wins 2 Super Bowls? All right, enough of that.
See, that's the difference with me. If I had that take you were doing, and I was like, "Ooh, there's a chance he wins the Super Bowl," and I can keep my take. Why would you ever give up?
Because I know who the better. Because you know what? As an observer of football,
that's soft.
As an observer of football, I know Joe Burrow's better quarterback. No, if I was
the issue that I have with that is you knew it 5 years ago, you knew it 4 years ago, you knew it 3 years ago, you knew it 2 years ago, you know it now. And you're now admitting it. You knew you were wrong since the day you said it.
Let's do it this way. If you were drafting a quarterback, would you draft Joe Burrow or would you draft Jalen Hurts?
Yeah. And I've said that again.
But then again,
that has not changed for 6 years now. It has not changed.
After the season's over, let's do a quarterback draft and see where Jalen Hurts gets picked. Maybe we'll call Tommy.
Yeah, Jay Trev. He's our big scout. He knows.
Oh, that's true. We'll let Jay Trev.
All right, next.
We got that exciting news later on in the program. All right, so let's transition. We already got the football. Looks like we like the favorites, both of us. The only upset I see, maybe the Eagles.
I do want to say I'm very proud that I do know the babysitter of the new Texans general manager.
Correct. Mike Borgonzi has been Titans, not Texans.
Did I say Texans?
Yeah.
Oh, Titans.
So Jay Trev, get ready to go to Tennessee, baby. We'll be visiting you. So Tommy's been texting me all afternoon about it. I'm
sure he's happy.
I'm happy for my friend Tommy Trevisani. I'm happy for Justin. I'm extremely happy for Mike Borgonzi because I was reading his resume, and God, he worked his way up, and he was one of the guys who promoted bringing Mahomes in to his GM. So he gets his opportunity. It's great. I don't know if Tennessee's the perfect job, but he does get an opportunity to hire a coach as well, so that'll help him out. So Mike Borgonzi, congratulations, getting the Tennessee Titan job. Tommy, if you're out there listening, God bless you. We've been waiting for this for a long time. So we might just have to take a trip out to Tennessee, Jack, and see some Titans football.
I'm not 100%. Was he? I know there's a guy that the Chiefs, the organization, gives a ton of credit for Mahomes. Like he was high on him after his freshman year in college. I don't know if that was Borgonzi. It might have been though.
Yeah, who knows? But that's the story that Tommy says it was. So we'll go with that.
Okay. Okay, then it was. Yeah.
We don't have to
if Tommy said it, it's got to be true.
We don't have to be completely accurate on the show, but congratulations to Mike Borgonzi. Maybe if we're lucky, we bring Tommy and we can Mike in for about 5 minutes, talk about his upbringing in Everett and playing at Everett and at Brown and all the great things. And we can even ask him, did he go to the Benz to get his haircut? That's what I want to know. That's the big question.
Those are the questions actually that people would be interested in.
Yes. And then what was it like playing for Dips?
Who are you going to draft in the first round? No one cares about that.
Who cares about that? They want to know what about Mike Borgonzi. Hey, what was Tommy like when he was 25 years old babysitting you?
Yeah. Well, it's like, how lucky are you that YouTube didn't exist, because you would spend all the time he babysat you watching Larry Bird highlights.
Right, that's true. That's true.
You probably had like VHS tapes.
You
like
and your brother would have gotten in trouble.
You probably had like every game, and they were watching all the 86 Celtics tapes.
Correct. That was Mike and Dave Borgonzi, who was the linebacker coach, right, for the Bears. So hopefully the Borgonzi brothers will help be able to make them. I thought Borgonzi would be perfect for the Patriots, but they stuck with Wolf. And I think in Patriots with Vrabel. Vrabel hopefully will run the whole show. And if Vrabel doesn't run the whole show, it ain't going to work here. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, and Vrabel gives me a good way to transition to college football playoff. Mike Vrabel, Ohio State University, the Ohio State University alum. His team's going up against Notre Dame. Jack has been Ohio State bandwagon since the beginning. He thinks it's going to be a blowout. I still don't. I have a trouble with this. It's a tough game for me because I hate both teams. And I've always hated Notre Dame, like with a passion. And if you ask my buddy, school resource over Paul McGill, we used to go watch Penn State play Notre Dame in the late 80s at where we used to work at Bio-Rad in Cambridge and watch it on this big screen we had there. But I still think that it'll be a closer game than you do, right?
Yeah, the only thing that Ohio State has going against them is they got Jesus playing against them. So that's the only way they lose.
They both.
But that's the only way Notre Dame wins is if Jesus lets them. There's no. They have no.
But then what happened to Dabo? Why did Dabo win?
Never knows. Dad, this team almost lost to Penn State. Penn State's horrible. A receiver didn't catch a pass in a football game, and they almost lost that football game. This Notre Dame team's not even good.
Yeah,
like I'm going to be 25.
Ohio State almost lost to Penn State.
Not really. I don't remember them.
Oh, when they were playing for. Listen, I hope it's a good game because
they caught 0 passes with the receiver. The quarterback. I don't know if you watched the Penn State.
I watched the whole game with you.
You could have played a better quarterback game than that quarterback did. Yeah, you could have. I could throw that ball to that tight end.
Oh, anybody can throw the ball to tight end.
Useless. 25 points. 25 points.
We haven't talked about this, but Penn State, he choked. Yeah. The quarterback made a mistake, but the coach choked.
Yeah.
I said this when it happened. Run the ball. They ran that ball with the kid from Shillington, Government from high school, number 10 there. And they got that big first down, and they thought maybe we could get closer. And they didn't have a great field goal kicker.
Now, I'm fine with going for it. The quarterback has to have some sort of clue.
Penn State dominated that game on the offensive defensive line. They would have dominated in overtime because in
the first half they did, not in the second half.
But the overtime rules really benefited Penn State. So
did they? They couldn't
get that first down. Don't let Notre Dame call a timeout. Go to overtime and take your chances. Instead,
I respect
Drew Aller threw the worst pass in the history of passes. The Notre Dame kid makes a great play. The Notre Dame kicker, Derek Jeter.
Yeah, he turned into Brett Favre.
Right. That's what happens. I would have eaten the ball, and I said that when it happened.
Watch out, welfare program of Pennsylvania.
I said that when it happened, that he should have said it, taken it, going to overtime, taking his chances, because the first overtime, you kick the field goal, the extra point. The second overtime, you got to go for 2. And the third overtime, you just go for 2. And I think that Penn State's offensive line was so destructive that they would have been able to get those 3 yards all the time. So, but Ohio State, I hope Ohio State loses just because they paid so much money for their team. But they are indicative of what the.
That's something like, again, like when I'm giving your eulogy, it'll be like in 2025, he rooted for Notre Dame.
I know. That'll be fun. But I did because I
honestly want them to win this game. It's Notre Dame.
I know it's Notre Dame, but I
can't even tell you how much I hate Notre Dame. Oh,
I despise Ohio State.
They're just better than us. Like that's the vibe. They're better than everyone else.
I agree with you. And we've gone out there twice.
You don't get that vibe from. Now Ohio State are assholes, all that. You don't get that. It's just the we're better than you. I get that from Liverpool. You know, we're classier than you. We're the class. I can't stand them. Oh,
all right.
And if they get blown out,
I've always said, and I said after the loss when you told me they would never make the playoff, they won 14 straight games, whatever. As they played towards the end of the season, I told you they were a good quality football team, and I wouldn't be shocked if they made a run. Right? I don't know if they have the depth of talent, especially with their one lineman's out. I don't think they have the depth of talent to stay with Ohio State, but Ohio State also has a depth of idiocy, most likely from the head man. And they sometimes don't play well, and like against Michigan. So you're going to go Ohio State. I'll take Notre Dame in the 8.5. We'll see what happens.
I'll just say the last time,
See what happens.
even if they get beat by 25, like this won't go worse than the last time Notre Dame played in the national championship game.
Oh my God, that was bad.
After that game, the story was about a fake girlfriend that never existed and an extremely attractive girlfriend that Brent Musburger just talked about the whole game. So it went so poorly last time that it can't go that bad this time.
I think you're right. Poor Notre Dame. Poor. It was Monte Tao or whatever his name was.
Manti Te'o and Aaron AJ McCarron's girlfriend.
McCarron's girlfriend. Yep, she got big time. Brent Musburger did his old man at a football game.
That was one of the funny. Whoa, this is funny.
Before we wrap up college football,
I love Brent was great.
He was awesome.
What an announcer.
He was awesome.
I like Chris Fowler though, so I'm not going to complain.
So I like a lot of guys.
Chris Fowler doesn't give you that Syracuse vibe, which I like.
We've done that announcer thing.
I know, but I'm just saying.
That's like almost a year and a half ago, the announcer thing. Just two things. I have two questions about the college football playoff, and I want you to answer and I'll answer. Did it work to your satisfaction, and what change would you make? Did it work?
I guess it kind of worked, but it kind of didn't. I don't know. I need more. Give me 5 years to get that takeout. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think you. I don't know. Like that's why I give me 5 years. Then I'll tell you my changes. But I don't think you can say it was a massive success or a massive failure based off this year.
I think
the problem that I have is Ohio State's going to the national championship, and they really shouldn't have had the opportunity to. I know they're the best team, but like the Michigan game has to matter. Losing Oregon in the regular season has to matter. It just doesn't. So a team that didn't even play in a conference championship game is going to win the national championship.
Well, why does it? Okay, we'll talk about it. Let's table that because I think why you go to a 12-man playoff, 12 is because you want the best team to have a chance to win.
So a team like Ohio State just can literally go to sleep for the whole regular season and then wake up.
It does devalue the regular season a little bit. And I think conference champions shouldn't. I think you rank them, and that's how they're ranked. No conference champions. I think Ohio State was very, very underseeded at 8. So that's
because they did not make the. That's
because
if they had beat, you realize if they had beat Michigan, they would have annihilated.
And Oregon would have been seeded 8.
They would have been the number 1 team.
And Oregon would have been
#1 team.
Oregon would have been seeded 8, and Oregon would be playing tomorrow.
If they had just not pooped themselves against Michigan, they would have been the #1 team.
That's
but they
true.
did, and they shouldn't have. They should not be the national champions because of that.
Listen. I think it worked. I'm glad they did it. I wouldn't mind seeing it. The little tweaks. It's been very, except for the first week blowout. I think the first weekend they should play at bowl games, and the second weekend the top 4 seeds should get a home game. That's how I would change. And I would change the way you seed it, not seed it by conference champion. Conference champions get an automatic bid, no doubt about it. But you seed them the way they're seeded by the committee, just like they do in the NCAA tournament. So if Temple had won, not Temple, it's a bad. Let's say that when North Carolina State won the ACC championship last year, they weren't seeded number 1 because they won the ACC. They were seeded like 12 because they sucked and they had a nice run. So I think that's the way I would look at doing it. Why can't football be like basketball or like even the division?
It's a different sport.
I know it's a
different sport.
Different sport, but still, let's seed them differently. Go Notre Dame, rah rah. We'll see what happens. Touchdown Jesus and all that fun stuff.
Well, why don't you tell Charlie Baker? Let him know.
I'll tell Charlie, but you know what? It's because the government just said that Title IX means every NIL money has to be equally split between the men and the women now because that's the law of the land. So this whole shit's going to blow up, and they're going to split.
It has to be split equally. Caitlin Clark should go back to college.
I know shit. I think we're 2 or 3 years away from the whole thing blowing up anyway. So just on college note, last night, number 18.
We can talk about all that later. Like I don't understand why they have to go to class. They're not students. They're just professional athletes.
Again, you're absolutely right. I'm going to.
All right. What's next?
College basketball last night. My boys, Temple Owls, with the upset over Memphis. Memphis is a pretty good little basketball team. I think the Owls are getting better. They're getting a little bit better. They still make dumb freaking turnover mistakes late in games, but we did win. I don't know why we stormed the court, but the kids showed up in the snowstorm, so God bless them. I was happy. It was a great game. Shane played a great game. and all that fun stuff. So that's
Yeah, J Trev said Zion Stanford looked like a real good player last night. And I was
he
like,
did.
yeah, he's a true sophomore. Wonder where he's playing next year. That's why
Hopefully stays with us.
and that's why Temple it's irrelevant because like, yeah, they have a nice little team this year, but they're not gonna make the tournament. And next year, like they're not
Their
going to be
only
able to grow
chance,
the guys that they have. They're going to
their
get
only
new
chance to make
transfers,
the
and it'll be a
tournament,
whole new team next year.
the only chance to make the tournament is
Whatever.
if I hit the big lotto for like $1 million, $3
The
million.
other thing is, it's like the
I
guy
give
they
him the
played
money.
last night, like Nick Jourdain. That's the perfect example. They could use Nick Jourdain on this team.
They
He
could.
should be on this team. He should be an upperclassman leader, but that does not exist anymore for a team like Temple. And it's
Or
impossible to root for a guy like Zion Stanford because what's he doing next year? He's not playing for Temple. He'll go somewhere else.
Well,
You're not
hopefully
going to
he
get him
plays.
as a senior when he's averaging, when he might be like an all-conference player. You're not going to have that.
sort of like
Your
isn't it
all-conference player might be Jamal Mashburn, who you had
who
for a year.
transferred in
You
because
don't
we
have
got him to
you
come
don't have
in.
an attachment to
Because
him
of
or
him.
anything.
So it's
Stupid.
sort of,
The greatness of Ramon Moore not playing any minutes his freshman year and being the
I
best player in the
understand.
league
I
his
understand.
year. Khalif Wyatt playing like 9 minutes
Yep.
his freshman year, and then his sophomore year being the sixth man, and then his junior year being great, and then his senior year being one of the best
Right.
players in the country. This is not there anymore.
Again, I totally agree with you. And there's nothing we can do to change it right now, except for maybe Temple can get some rich benefactor. Like I said, if I ever win that big lotto, which I won't because I don't play, I would say I'd give him like $20 million seed money to have to do the NIL. But I don't even know if that's enough because that's how much it cost Ohio State to put their team together. So that's enough. College basketball.
It does say Bill Cosby's worth $500 million.
He still is?
That's what it said.
You got to be crapping me.
400 million.
Maybe if he
He's
did.
still getting money from his TV show though. That's on
Yeah,
TV.
he gets. I'm sure that he has
Oh, yeah.
residuals are still showing.
Well, he's not a felon, right? That got like over. So
I don't know if he. Yeah, you might be right about that. They Temple did. I just want to say one more thing. I love my university and all. They did a thing about it's whatever it was, the 200 some anniversary of whatever, and they put out all the famous alums, and Cosby was nowhere on the video, nowhere. So
what's his why do I think what's his name? Did the dude who died from
Bob Saget
Full
went
House.
to Temple.
Bob Saget went to Temple, yeah.
He was Temple about the same time I was. I think he's a little younger than I am. But and Hall and Oates and Mark Macon. There's a lot. I think we do more in like the research fields and stuff. So, but that's enough college football. We're not going to talk about the Celtics because we fought about that 2 nights ago. Hopefully they'll win tonight. And just,
Are they
just like,
playing?
I'm going to get my one
Are
little.
they playing?
Orlando at home, which should be a good game. I'm going to the Wilmington swim meet at 7 o'clock right after the show. But this, you told me the record from last year, they're 4 games worse than they were last year at this time. So just want to throw that at you. I want to go to your favorite
I
subject.
saw like Derek White's shooting like 4% worse from 3 than he was last year. Holiday's down like 10 points. Jaylen Brown's down like 4 points. Hauser's down like 4 points.
Yep.
Everyone's down. Tatum's up a tick and Pritchard's up a ton, but they're not shooting the ball well and they're not playing hard enough. So that's
okay.
That's
As we do the
it's middle of January.
we do the Jack Boyle fun.
Wait, there was another thing. It was
what?
Almost every single team this century that's won a back-to-back title. There's been like 7 or 8 teams that have won back-to-back this century. Like over half of them have had a 15-game stretch where they were like 500 the year. So it's so much, and they've still won the championship. But
right.
It's literally they're so whatever.
I just think again
they're playing like this in April, fine, but it's not going to happen.
That's what my point was the other night.
Trust me.
I think let's see what they do.
They're still over the past 10 games got the 3rd best net rating in the NBA, and they suck. So they're still even sucking. They're still better than most.
And you know what? You don't suck as much as Oklahoma City did to Cleveland last night. Cleveland was
other way around.
We're gonna
other way around. Cleveland sucked.
Same as suck. Oklahoma made them suck.
Yeah.
So we got the 2 things that are actually 3 things that
I do have to say Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma could beat the Celtics in a 7-game series. It's the only team.
They might, but they have to get there though. They've got to get there.
I agree that they might not get there, but I think if they play the Celtics, it'd be a good.
And like when you integrate Chet Holmgren back into who knows what happens to the balances and all that stuff. So
well, that's like if you look at the odds basically 2 teams have good odds. Everyone else is like plus 1,000 or worse.
Right. That's why I saw that today.
The NBA is basically saying it's a 2-horse race.
Aren't the Celtics Oklahoma City plus 200 and like Cleveland's plus 1,100 or something?
Yeah, something like that. It's crazy how big of a difference it is from 2nd and 3rd.
All right, as we run down the end of the show here, I'm going to give you your 3 favorite topics of all time. Let's go real quick. ManU, your buddy, we saw them win. I'm now becoming a small ManU fan. ManU, I gave you half a minute on ManU.
Look, we played like garbage. We had to get back. It's Southampton. These are the games where it's like the manager was like, I'm gonna learn more about my team against Southampton, the worst team in the league, than against Liverpool and Arsenal. It's like you have to perform against those teams. This team, we did not play well. Our attackers are poor. We have one guy, Ahmad, who just, I mean, one of the more breathtaking hat tricks you'll see. Like from his first goal was scored in the 82nd minute. He scored a hat trick. We were down 1-0. He just totally put the team on his back. He's incredible to watch. I don't know. We got in a fight on the podcast once about how you were like, all of a sudden you just like overnight flipped on Ten Hag and like you were Ten Hag out. Yeah, the last straw with Ten Hag where he was on the last legs anyways with the poor performances and all, but I was willing to give him it. It was when he consistently, even this season, had Ahmad on the bench. Okay. And Ahmad's like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I think he's going to win the Ballon d'Or. I'm dead serious when I say that. He is going to win the Ballon d'Or in his career. Unbelievable how good he is. He's on the bench. That's why. So it's just great watching him play. He's so much fun.
Ahmad is going to win the Ballon d'Or.
He's so much fun. He's such a good guy. Speaking of the Ballon d'Or, one of Man United's 4 Ballon d'Or winners passed away today. Dennis,
I saw that.
Part of the United Holy Trinity, which I got my picture with. He's the last one of those 3 to die. So shout out to Dennis Law, an icon of the football club, and it'll be another Man United funeral like we just had for our receptionist that was there for 6 years. Everyone showed up. It'll be another funeral that everyone shows up
from the Isles, but from Scotland, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
From Aberdeen to Man United, just like Ferguson. He played.
And then the next thing is the Australian Open that you're starting to watch. Your boys played last night. You said he got a little arrogant. What are the odds he wins? Do we get a
so my pre-tournament pick was Sinner. You can see I've been bouncing around all episode. I drank so much coffee today.
I was up to be tough to do. I was up to you got to stay straight.
I was up till 1 a.m. watching tennis last night because Alcaraz started at like 10:15, 10:30 in the 3rd round. So I said Sinner was going to win before the tournament. What I saw last night, Alcaraz is going to win.
All right, so Jack's got Alcaraz going over Sinner.
He's serving the absolute piss out of the ball. The forehands he's hitting. I mean, the announcers have their breath taken away. Like I said, he did get a little cocky.
All right.
He hit the ball through his legs.
Yeah,
he hit the ball through his legs, and just not like because he had to, just for the hell of it in the 3rd set. He actually lost the 3rd set because he was getting arrogant. But he looked really good. Those 2 sets he played.
So this is almost going to do this almost like pardon
me. He gets Djokovic soon. He's in the quarterfinals. Right. He plays the quarterfinals next, and then he plays Djokovic.
I need to get a whiteboard here to the pardon and interruptions and give you a countdown. That's the second one. So we did ManU, we did the Australian Open.
I can talk about ManU in the Australian Open for 2 hours.
My other one is the TGL. What's your take?
I don't know. I like if Tiger's on, I'll put it on. But if Tiger's not on, I'm not watching it.
I think it's really cool. The technology's great. I think they got to figure something out to make it leave because the 2 blowouts will kill you. And I would like to hear them. I like the mic'd up players. I like them rushing it through. Boy, Kevin Kisner really sucked the other night too, and Tiger, they were making fun of him. But again, I think it's somebody made a point where it's being televised on Tuesday night where there's nothing else to watch. Now the football's just about over. And it'll let's see what kind of traction it gets. It's a real
Australian Open,
really cool thing to do live or see live as well as the players. But and then we got Hall of Fame coming up soon. I'm not even going to bother you with that because I think.
We got to bring in Jay Trev. He's our baseball Hall of Fame guy. Remember
I think Etro should be the only.
I think we have to bring in Jay Trev to do his ballot. That'd be funny.
So to wrap it up and to recap, you've got we both have the same players winners in the professional football side: Kansas City, Detroit. And the top seeds we have winning, the Eagles and the Bills. We both have winning. You've got Ohio State. I've got +8.5 on our friends from Notre Dame. You've got Alcaraz now winning the tournament. You got ManU making the Champions League. I doubt it. And we, like I said, we talked to
no. Oh, I'm ManU making the Champions League through the Europa League.
Okay, that's good. That's good. And then we'll
lucky to finish. We'll be lucky. Look, I'm aiming for 8th. If we can get to 8th, If we finish at 8th, I'll take it.
All right, so next week, when we get back next week, we're gonna. Tommy really wants to go on the show, and now with the Zoom, and
I want him on the show. He ghosts me like nonstop. He acts like he wants to be on the show, and then I ask him, I'm like,
I think Tommy wants to go back.
He likes playing the victim. He likes being a victim.
Tommy wants to go back to We've Seen Enough and be on the show with me alone or without you. Well, I think you and Tommy would be great. So what I want to do is I want to try to get him on before they go down.
Wasn't the thing we didn't get an animated Tommy? Come on, we'll get
now
Tommy
he can be animated because we own the show, so it's all ours. He can do anything he wants, right? That's how I look at it. So we'll recap.
Did WCTV release the rights to us? Do we own the rights to the show?
I don't know.
Are we gonna have to go to court?
They might challenge. They might take the It All Boils Down to name away from us because it's
the IP. Did they own that?
Well, they still have the some of the old shows. I don't have all the old shows. I got to get those back.
They can have them.
Like I said, this is show 60, Jack. We've been doing this for almost a year and 4 or 5 months. We're on a roll. And like I said, I want to try to get some more guests. We got to get Kevin and Chris and Justin in, and got to do Zoom without their phones so we get nice squared scenes. So episode 60 is complete. Let's see how the Celtics play tonight. I just want to know thing. I'm going to swim meet tonight to see the swimmers. Boys basketball. Coach Faraday has them at 5-4. They did get a forfeit win then. A nice big win on Woburn. Huge game tonight against Burlington. Probably started about 15 minutes ago. Let's go, guys. All those guys are my baseball guys as well. Really happy for them. They're playing well. It'll be great. So what do you got?
Did you see the coach at Temple? Right after the game, he went to one of the bars on campus and bought 100 Miller Lights for the students.
I hope they were illegal.
Well, they're at the bar. Right? People get in with their fake IDs and all, but if you're in a bar, you can buy a beer for someone.
All right, so Fish gets a shout out from Jack. So episode 6.
That's what you got to do, though. That's how you get. That's how you get You get the students back. That's who you get to the games first. The students.
I agree with you.
So if you get the students to the game, you get your atmosphere up. People might want to come play for you.
They said it was one of the better atmospheres for a while.
Yeah, so I turned that game on. You could see it was like packed. I'd never seen the Accor Center like that in a long time.
Nice, because they had the white shirts. Okay, so
go for the kids. That's how you do it. Smart.
Eventually, we'll get this show done. Jack was tired when I saw him about 45 minutes ago. He's on fire now. So
yeah, but I'm a when that red light comes on or green light at the mat.
All right, so Jack, episode 60 is complete. For Jack Boyle, I'm Jim Boyle. For It All Boils Down to This, we'll see you on down the road.
Thanks for listening to this episode of It All Boils Down to This. We're always open to any ideas, critiques, topics, and guests. So if anyone out there in podcast world needs to get a hold of us, we can be reached via email at jboyle22@comcast.net. Along with Jack Boyle, I'm Jim Boyle. Make sure to tune in to the next edition of It All Boils Down to This.